Greetings, fellow adventurers, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for choosing our video on Antony Cottee. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. Antony Richard Cottee, born 11 July 1965, is an English former professional footballer and manager who now works as a television football commentator. As a player, he was a striker from 1982 until 2001, notably playing in the top flight of English football for West Ham United, Everton and Leicester City. He was capped 7 times by England and played in the Football League for Birmingham City, Norwich City and Millwall. He also had a spell in Malaysia with Selangor and spent a season as player-manager of Barnet. He played in Everton's 1989 FA Cup final defeat to Liverpool, and won the League Cup with Leicester City in 2000. His final career tally was 579 league games and 226 goals. In all competitions, he played 712 games and 293 goals. He exceeded his ambition to score 200 league goals in his career, but fell just short of his target of 300 goals in all competitions. Still, he was one of the most prolific goalscorers that English football saw during the years and years. Get ready for a thought-provoking discussion as we delve into West Ham United and its impact on our understanding. Born in Forest Gate, London, Cottee began his career at West Ham, where he made his first team debut in the First Division against Tottenham Hotspur on 1 January 1983, at the age of 17, scoring in the process. He played a total of 8 games in the season, scoring 5 goals. He established himself in the first team during the season, when still only 18, and scored 15 times in the league. He did even better when he scored 17 First Division goals. By the age of 20, he had already managed an impressive 37 league goals. He was a prolific scorer in first spell at West Ham, where he was voted the PFA Young Player of the Year in 1986, the year where West Ham finished third, their highest league finish to date, and came just 4 points away from the title. He scored 20 times in the league during that season, though his strike partner Frank McAveney did even better with 26 league goals. Still, their 46-goal strike partnership was the most prolific in the league that season. Cottee scored 22 league goals, which would be the highest of his career. However, Frank McAveney alongside him could only manage 7 league goals that season, and this contributed to a downturn in West Ham's form as they finished 15th. Cottee managed a further 13 league goals but McAveney had been sold to Celtic early in the season, and the failure of manager John Lyall to find an adequate replacement contributed to West Ham disappointing in the league again, finishing 16th. By this time, the 23-year-old Cottee had already managed 212 league games and 92 goals for Hammers. Let's now turn our attention to Everton and examine its role within the larger context. Cottee briefly became the most expensive player to be signed by a British club when on to August 1988 he joined Everton in a £2 20 million deal, a fee eclipsed by Ian Rush's return to Liverpool from Juventus later that month. He made his Everton debut on 27 August 1988, the opening day of the First Division campaign, in a home win over Newcastle United in which he scored a hat-trick. He managed a further 10 league goals that season, though Everton were relatively disappointing in the league as they finished 8th, having been a top 4 club and twice champions in the previous 4 seasons. However, they did reach the FA Cup final and were paired with neighbours Liverpool at Wembley on 20 May 1989. It was a close contest, but in the end Everton lost in extra time. Earlier in the season, Cottee and his colleagues had been on the receiving end of another Wembley defeat, this time to Nottingham Forest, who beat them in the final of the Full Members' Cup, but Cottee still managed to get on the score sheet twice. Cottee spent his first season at Goodison Park playing alongside Graham Sharp, but for manager Colin Harvey changed the formation and brought in Mike Newell as Everton's third striker. The season began very promisingly for Everton, who went top of the league on 21 October and stayed there until mid-November. but their title hopes gradually disintegrated and they finished sixth while the title went to Liverpool. Cottee scored 13 league goals that season. Was arguably Everton's worst season in a decade. Harvey was sacked on 31 October 1990 with the Toffees third from bottom in the First Division, and a week later Howard Kendall, who had guided them to 2 league titles, an FA Cup and a European Cup Winners' Cup in his first spell from 1981 to 1987, was appointed with Harvey returning as his assistant. Everton's form improved under Kendall and they finished ninth, also reaching the FA Cup quarter-finals and ousting Liverpool in the 5th round after 2 replays. Cottee was Everton's saviour in the first replay on 21 February as he scored a late equaliser which forced a draw in Liverpool's last game before the resignation of manager Kenny Dalglish the following day. Cottee managed 10 league goals in the season. Was another frustrating season for Cottee and Everton after the upturn in form that had followed Howard Kendall's return as manager. By mid-November he had 2 new strike partners in Peter Beardsley and Mo Johnston following the sale of both Graham Sharp and Mike Newell, and while the revamped forward line was reasonably productive, the rest of the team struggled to match their standards. Cottee was restricted to 8 goals from 24 games through injury, and Everton finished mid-table once again. It was the first time since his debut season 9 years earlier that he had scored less than 10 league goals in a season. Saw Everton participate in the inaugural FA Premier League, and Cottee did better this time, scoring 12 goals. He managed 16 league goals including 2 hat-tricks, adding a further 3 goals in cup competitions. But the season almost ended in disaster for Everton, who only narrowly avoided relegation just 7 years after being league champions. Cottee scores Everton's first 2 hat-tricks in the Premier League, the first being in a home win over Sheffield United early in the season, and then in a home win over Swindon Town in January. New manager Mike Walker, who arrived in January 1994, promised an overhaul of the squad, and Cottee was soon being linked with a move back to West Ham after 6 years on Merseyside. During his absence, the Hammers had been relegated and promoted twice, but were now in the Premier League. As we enter this new phase, let's analyse return to West Ham from different angles and evaluate its significance. He returned to West Ham United on 7 September 1994 in a part exchange deal for defender David Burrows plus cash. Everton manager Mike Walker had signed Nigerian Daniel Omokachi fresh from World Cup duty and financed the move by selling Cottee, much to Everton fans' disapproval. He had played 184 league games in 6 years for the Toffees, scoring 76 goals, but had not won any major trophies, and Everton had never finished higher than 6th during his time there. His overall career tally for league goals now stood at 164. Cottee made his second debut for the Hammers away to Liverpool and was sent off after 54 minutes, although his first season back at Upton Park brought 13 league goals as he helped West Ham fight off relegation and finished 14th in their first season under the management of Harry Redknapp. He had a further 10 goals in as the Hammers finished 10th, their highest finish since 1986, but he then lost his place in the team to new arrivals Florent Raduciu and Hugo Porfirio, managing just 3 games and failing to score in the Premier League before joining Selangor of Malaysia in October 1996. Over 2 spells at West Ham, he had scored 115 league goals. Added to his goals scored for Everton, he had now managed 187 league goals. With our curiosity piqued, let's embark on a dedicated exploration of Selangor and Leicester City and its fascinating intricacies. In the autumn of 1996, he joined Malaysian club Selangor for £750,000 sterling, where he won the Malaysian FA Cup, his first trophy as a player. In August 1997, he signed for Leicester City for £500,000 sterling, where he was presented with his first chance of European football at the age of 32, as Leicester had an ultimately short-lived campaign in that season's UEFA Cup. He managed 19 league games and scored 4 goals as the Foxes finished 10th, and one of those goals came in a shock win over title-chasing Manchester United at Old Trafford on 31 January 1998. He also had a loan spell at Birmingham City in Division 1 that season, and in his first taste of second-tier football managed to score 1 goal. In the semi-final of the Football League Cup against Sunderland, Cottee scored 3 goals across the 2 legs, 2 in the first and 1 in the second, to help Leicester win on aggregate. However, they lost the final to Tottenham Hotspur. In aged 34, he finally won a major trophy in England as he helped Leicester defeat Tranmere Rovers in the Football League Cup final. That season he scored 13 league goals, which remained the most Premier League goals scored by a Leicester player in a single season until the season when Jamie Vardy surpassed his total. He remained at Filbert Street until 11 September 2000, by which time he had played a total of 85 league games for the Foxes and scored 27 goals. This brought his total career tally to 214 goals in the English top division, making him the 17th highest goal scorer in the history of English top-flight football. Brace yourself for an in-depth analysis as we navigate through later career and its far-reaching implications. In September 2000, Cottee joined Norwich City as player-coach under recently appointed manager Brian Hamilton. However, this did not last long as Cottee struggled to meet the demands placed on him, scoring 2 goals against Blackpool in the League Cup and Sheffield United in the league. A week after resigning from Barnet, Cottee signed for Millwall on transfer deadline day. During this season, which was his last as a player, Cottee played for a different team in each of the top 4 divisions of English football in the same season, a rare achievement last performed by goalkeeper Eric Nixon in. Now, let's shift our attention to management career. After being released by Norwich on 31 October 2000, he took over as player-manager of Barnet, a team closer to his home in London. After winning his first game with the club versus Blackpool, Barnet hit a run of poor form which left them facing relegation from the Football League. Cottee resigned on 16 March 2001. However, his replacement, John Still, who left the club just before Cottee's appointment 6 months earlier, was unable to rescue the team from relegation. However, Cottee did manage an impressive 9 goals from 16 Division 3 games. Welcome to the next segment, where we explore international career and its significance in our journey. Cottee made his debut for England against Sweden on 10 September 1986 as a substitute and went on to win 7 caps, starting once against Scotland at Hampden Park in the 1989 Rouse Cup in a win. In this part of the video, we'll be delving deeper into personal life and analysing its key components. Cottee has stated that he diligently maintains a scrapbook containing press cuttings of every goal he scored throughout his playing career. Brace yourself for a captivating discussion on media career as we explore its nuances and implications. He is currently a commentator with Sky Sports and occasional pundit for Malaysian network Astro, appearing on its 2010 World Cup and Premier League studio coverage in Kuala Lumpur. In this section, we'll be shedding light on film career and its impact on our understanding of the subject. Cottee made a cameo appearance in the 2018 action film Final Score, in which he was murdered on live television. In this section, we'll be exploring career statistics. Club season, League National Cup, League Cup, Continental, Other, Total Division, Apps, Goals, West Ham United, First Division, 85100, First Division, 39-15-4044, First Division, 41-17-5443, First Division, 40-27-432, First Division, 40-22-5165, First Division, 40-13-2220, total 212 1290 to 24 11 19 14 Everton 1st Division 36 13 805 1st Division 27 13 5 to 30 1st Division 29 10 4 to 34 1st Division 24 820 for 1 Premier League 26 12 00 3 1 Premier League 39 16 205 3 Premier League 30 total 184 70 to 21 for 23 11 West Ham United Premier League 31 13 to 1 3 Premier League 33 10 303 2 Premier League 30 to 1 total 67 23 5 1 8 for Selangor Liverpool 24 14 7 3 Leicester City Premier League 19 4 to 1 1 Premier League 31 10 1 1 5 5 Premier League 33 13 2 0 3 0 Premier League 20 total 85 27 5 to 9 5 1 Birmingham City Loan 1st Division 5 1 Norwich City 1st Division 7 1 to 1 Barnet 3rd Division 16 9 to 1 Millwall 2nd Division 20 Career total 600 and 239 64 22 61 35 1 Appearances and goals by club, season and competition. Let's now shift gears and explore honours through a critical lens, uncovering its strengths and weaknesses. Everton for Cup runner-up, Full Members Cup runner-up. Selangor Malaysia FA Cup, 1997. Leicester City Football League Cup, runner-up. England Drauss Cup, 1989. Individual for Young Player of the Year. Don't forget to hit that notification bell so you never miss an update from my channel.